Alrighty, so in today's farming guide, we are going to be looking at the concept of farming training items. Now, training items are very important in this game, as this is what you're going to be using to level up your characters as efficiently as possible. Now, the training items that we are going to specifically be focusing in today's video are the turtle shells as well as the Z swords. You can see I don't have many of these other ones on the top. That's because those are not as accessible for farming in an efficient manner as the turtle shells as well as the Z swords are. So why should you farm your trading items? So that way when you pull your new units, you don't need to go do a separate grind to get them to the level that you want to get them at. When you get an SSR, we want to make them a TUR or an LR right away. Having training items, having Zenny, having awakening metals, all that fun stuff, that is how you're going to be able to do that as quickly as possible. So the first method that we're going to be looking at for farming up training metals is going to be, or training items, excuse me, is going to be by going to the growth tab. Now on global, this is going to line up the same exact way as I say in all of my videos. This is the story tab, and then this is the growth tab. We want to be on this tab, and we want to go to the Turtle School daily training event. Now, if you guys have not been doing this every day, I highly recommend that you do so, as it is going to be giving you rank XP, it's going to be giving you Zenny, it's going to be giving you training items, and it's also going to be giving you link levels at a higher rate as well. So make sure that you are doing this at least once every day. If your power level is at a certain point, you are able to do this twice per day, but you will be getting, especially if you are not training up a ton of characters at a time, you will notice the turtle shells and the elder kais will stack up a decent bit. So the Roshi event is the first thing that I recommend, and I highly recommend that you do that one every day, as it is going to save you a bit of time. So let's move on to the second method, and that is in here. If we go to the Dragon Ball story tab, we go to where the movies are at, and then we want to find the Bojack and Gohan event. So we go down here, and then we find it right here. This is the kind of Galactic Crisis event. We're going to press info, and we are going to do stage 1. Now, stage 1 here is giving the Z swords out, so that is going to be something we have to keep in mind right away. And why do I recommend you go to this one? Because the Dragon Ball stories are not on a rotating cycle compared to what we have with the other one, right? Where you guys saw that we actually had to kind of switch it up a little bit, right? We had to those are on a rotating cycle, right? I kind of lost my train of thought, but the story events will be live for a celebration, and then after that celebration, they will go away, compared to where this one is, it's always just going to be here. So what we're going to be doing is running a hybrid Saiyan team with as many LRs as possible. Run the team however you can fit it in. If you need to use TURs, if you need to use URs, SSRs, whatever it may be. I'm going to run my hybrid Saiyan team, but your hybrid Saiyan team does not have to look exactly the same as mine. It will all work the same. So let's go with a bunch of fun, newer summonable LRs. Why not? We'll do this, and then we'll set it up like that. And then one thing we want to make sure that we are doing, especially you guys need to make sure you have this as well. This is the Oolong support memory, because this is going to be increasing our drop rates. So you can see here, you want to maximize the chance by using the highest rarities possible across the board. So as many LR hybrid Saiyans as you can get. If you can manage to get a couple of these are free to play. This Gohan right here is from Super Battle Road. This Trunks right here, I believe, is from Super Battle Road as well, or Extreme Super Battle Road. I forget. He's from one of the two. This B-Pan is free. You have to grind her up over time. We have Prime Battle Kid Gohan. We have the Trunks, or not the Trunks, the Vegeta Jr. and Goku Jr., the Prime Battle Trunks. There's a bunch of different options here that are free to play, but we'll go with a little bit more of a fun team. But the team doesn't really matter. It's just the drop percentage that we're looking at. So if we hop in here real quick, we can go ahead and get this started. And you can see this is going to be a quick fight against Tien. Now, one thing that could be a little bit annoying with this particular fight is you're probably going to be getting, what's the word? Hit with that board every once in a while, and you're going to have to do an extra fight. But if you want to counter that, what I would do is turn auto off for the board, or if you don't mind doing that extra fight, just go ahead and leave it on auto. But now we're going to be fighting Tien, and we'll see how many that we get in this specific instance. We're going to be farming up the Z swords with this method. So as many stamina refreshes as you want to do on this is going to help you stockpile your Z swords up at a decent rate. And what makes this one so efficient is the fact that it does in fact never go away. So this is a really good one for manually farming up your Z swords. But honestly, one piece of advice I can give you, and right there, I think, what did we get? 5 Z swords from that one alone. One piece of advice I can give you is just playing the game and farming things up over time. You guys will be amazed at how many training items that you can rack up, right? Especially with missions and stuff like that. There's so many different ways to farm training items, but in this video specifically, we're going to be looking at a way to directly attack the source and farm up manually. So doing this stage is one that I would recommend, because it's only going to be 15 stamina per run, and this event is not going away anytime soon. So you're going to be able to farm this as many times as you need to in order to get the training items that you need. So Galactic Crisis event, stage 1 of the Bojack and Gohan story event, is one that I would recommend. Now, if we go to the next event that we play, before we're done playing with events, we want to go over to the growth tab, and we want to go all the way down to the training at Korin's Tower. Now, this one, again, is a little bit more attacking it directly at the source. This one, though, is not going to have a boost category, right? But it is at least worth noting, because if we do this one and we turn off auto for the board, we're going to be able to manually kind of, I forgot to turn off the auto, but we're going to be able to manually like attack, like I keep saying, attack the source. In this case, we're going to be able to go onto the board and pick up training items as we go, while we're also getting training items from the fights. So you're going to be able to just run this event a bunch of times and stack up your training items, and before you know it, you're going to be looking pretty good, right? And one big thing to notice with this game, or one thing to take note of within this game, is like once you get ahead of it, you should be good, right? The hardest part about Dokkan is catching up, and then once you're caught up, it's super easy when you don't have to train up your characters en masse, when you don't have to Dokkan awaken your characters en masse. But when you're in that phase of just like getting started and you have to farm up everything at kind of like your own pace, that is when things are a little bit trickier. But I promise you that grind will only be there for so long, and eventually you'll be able to kind of, you know, spread your wings and fly a little bit. But it's doing these grinds in the beginning, right? It's watching these videos and doing the incredible gems. It's about doing the blue incredible gems, doing the link levels, getting all that stuff out of the way, and then once we have it, we're good to go. So now, like I said earlier, we're going to be manually doing the board on this one so we can try and obtain as many of these training items as possible via the board. And you can see we're not getting the best luck in the world, but this is kind of working out, right? So we got a lot of them, and then we'll do this additional fight right here, and we'll be good to go after that. And then that is one event that you can also do. So for the last strategy of this video, we are going to be talking about like exchanging treasures and doing some fun stuff like that, just in order to ensure as many training items as possible. So there's going to be a couple different methods to this. Let's finish up this event and then we can get into it. All right, so now we're out of this event, and now let's go ahead and take a look and see what we are looking at for the training items, and then you're going to see with stamina and stuff like that, that is what we're going to be looking at. So let's go ahead and see here, what did we get just from doing that run? That took, what, about 2 minutes, and you can see we got some training, we got a couple swords, we got a couple one of these, but this one is not going to be like the absolute best, but again, if you want to manually kind of go for all types of training items, that's not a bad alternative. The training at Corn's Tower, I'd recommend just doing the Gohan one personally, or the Gohan and Bojack event personally, but that one is always an option for you as well. And the same thing would go for awakening medals, but that's another time for another video. So the last thing I want to do before we close this one out is look at the Baba Shop. Now the Baba Shop is important, as these are going to kind of give you access to different training items that you would need. So you can see right here, we'll buy these heroes medals while we're here, but 15 Z stats or Z swords for, what is that, 115 Baba points. It's a decent deal. You buy the Gregories for these Baba points, and then just so on and so forth. Obtaining Baba points is super easy. You just take characters like your SRs and stuff like that. So I would filter it by SRs and Rs, and I would get rid of all of these different characters, and I'd be able to get Baba points. That's going to take too long for this video, but you get the idea. All these fodder characters you're not going to use, you can toss those away for Baba points. And if you have extra SSRs that you literally cannot do anything with, I would recommend that as well. But keep in mind, if you do pull them on a banner with coins, you can also exchange them with coins like this, right? So keep that in mind. Be careful with your SSRs. Make sure you can't exchange them for coins first. There's 3 coins right there. Thank you very much. But make sure that you can't exchange them for coins if you're going to do that method. And I also, especially if you're newer, I wouldn't recommend bobbing SSRs at all, but the Baba Shop points are one way to do it. Now, the next method that we're going to be talking about is with Zenny, right? So if we scroll down here, you can see we have support items, we have awakening medals, we have training locations. We can buy out a bunch of these. I would recommend you buy those if you can. You buy these with Zenny. You could do all that fun stuff, but right here, we can buy 10 of these, and this refreshes, like, is it once a day? Or something like that. I know this shop refreshes, but you can see we can buy 10 of these at a time just for Zenny, which is a super easy resource to farm within the game right now, especially with the way things are at. And then you can also buy an unlimited amount of Z swords with Zenny as well. So if you need them in a pinch, it's only going to be 750,000, or it's going to be what is that, or 75,000 or 100,000. You can just buy these by the Zenny load for 10 as well, and just kind of do this until you have the amount that you are looking for. So also, keep in mind, before we close this video out, you can get them with like burst mode coins, I believe. Burst mode coins actually might be the, yeah, we can get them with those. You can get them with a lot of different exchange items in the shop, right? Like if you just kind of look around, I'm just kind of scrolling quickly, but you can use these different ones to buy them as well. So make sure you check, and if you have extra, like a surplus of, you know, training item or, you know, Baba treasures, you can exchange them for those, and just keep that in mind as you are going. So let me know down below what you guys thought of this guide. That is how you farm up training items to get your characters maxed out. If you did find this guide helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I wish you the best of luck in progressing in Dokkan, and trading items is going to be one of those things. So, like I said, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.